There we go. Right on. All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome back to Above Ground World News. We got a lot of information to get into about the company that starts a lot of these fires, or at least they play a big part in what's going on. But we are definitely in a war. So, we're going to get into this company that's been responsible for a bunch of these fires. We're going to get into some of the things that they do that you probably don't know they do. So we know that billions of dollars have been invested in scientific literature and patents, and they prove that this stuff is going on. We know that PG&E is actually the vice president is of Rothschild Incorporated. But not only are we going to get into this fire situation, we got a massive situation headed towards Japan. And we got a typhoon headed to Japan. Right now it's putting off some 62-foot waves. And this thing is going to blast right into Japan. And there's a little island right here. I don't know what that island is, but they're going to get just clobbered with this thing. So we got 59.6, 58, 55-foot waves plus storm surge. You're talking evacuate the coast. So heads up for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the PG&E stuff. Now we're looking at all the power outages right now. This is the planned blackouts. These were set up a long time ago. A long time ago. They already had the charging stations set up. The mainstream media only gave the people a couple days prepared. We knew a wind event was coming in, but we didn't know. And we also, warned about fires, but we didn't know it was going to be like this. But where's the wind? We don't know where the wind is. So anyway, let's get a little bit into this PG&E power company. Now, if you didn't know, they also do precipitation enhancement, cloud seeding. So this is the PDF of the resource management strategy of the California Water Plan. This come out in July 29, 2016. And you're going to go through here. Now, these are all the companies that are affecting your weather. You got the California Energy Commission. You got the California Department of Water Resources, Integrated Regional Water Management, National Center for Atmospheric Research, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Notice of Intent, the National Research Council, the Pacific Gas and Electric Company, the Interest Energy Research Program, and the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. So precipitation enhancement. Remember, they all said this was not going on. But you're going to clearly see that they are cloud seeding all the time, artificially simulates clouds to produce more rainfall or snowfall than it would normally produce naturally. Cloud seeding injects substances into the clouds and enables snowflakes and raindrops to form more easy, like carbon fiber, plastic. You want to know why they're finding plastic particles in the ice cores? It's because of the aviation and the ship tracks. When you get down in here a little ways, California has been practicing cloud seeding operations since the early 1950s. Most of the projects are along the central southern Sierra Nevada and some in the coast ranges. These projects generally use silver iodide as an active seeding agent, supplemented by dry ice if aerial seeding is done. I thought they didn't do this stuff. Here you go. They're liars, man. Here's some of the maps of the areas that they sprayed in 2011 like bugs. Want to know why you're sick? This is part of it. So another area of interest to California was Colorado River Basin, Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico. It's going on in every single state. We show most of the companies nightly. All these PDFs and data that I'm going to show you are in the description under the show links. So you can go through and read all this stuff. Now, you know, you had a few protesters out here back when they were going to seed the clouds. So the PG&E weather modification plan raises concern. See, fighting this takes more than a handful of people. You know, if you're going to be an activist, if you want to stop the madness, if you want to stop the New World Order, you have to come together. You can't be watching the mainstream news, because that's just programming to make you think a certain way. Lean right, lean left. There's no such thing as in the center. It's this or that. So they had a small rally out here to try to stop it, but you know, you can't stop it unless you got tons of people. Now here's where it gets pretty interesting. The PG&E makes a deal for space solar power. Okay. Now California's biggest energy utility announced a deal Monday to purchase 200 megawatts of electricity from a startup company that plans to beam the power down to Earth from outer space beginning in 2016. You know, microwaves, laser beams. This is not science fiction, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real deal. This is what caused the Paradise Fire. They're harnessing the radiation from the sun, and then they're beaming it down as microwaves. This is the company I was talking about last night, the Solarian company. So you can go through and read all this stuff. So unlike ground-based solar arrays, space satellites can generate power 24 hours a day, unaffected by cloudy weather, or Earth's day and night cycle. The capacity for a ground-based solar is typically less than 25%. So the agreement called for 800 gigawatts hours of electricity to be provided during the first year of operation, and 1,700 gigawatts hours for subsequent years. Larger figures roughly equal to the annual consumption of 250,000 average homes. So what happens when this kind of technology gets away from you? Well, let's go back and look at the Paradise Fires. Let's look at some documentation that we did during them days. You can see there was a mass explosion. I mean, it went up miles into the air. There was 2 ignition points. I'm going to see if I can try to fast forward through this video a little bit so I can get you like to the radars and stuff. So this might be a little hard to do here, but I'm going to try. Oh man, this is going to be a pain in the butt. So maybe I'll just let it run through here a little bit. So far I'm showing you right now that the power company not only, you know, has total control of tons of power for tons of people, but they also have cloud seeding technology that they use and laser-based satellite weapons.
We're not using chemicals fired through rockets like other technologies use. We use a very gentle but powerful technology, launching electromagnetics into the atmosphere to modify the flow of the weather system over the ocean and drawing it into a target. So to try and keep it simple, we establish some kind of link with a weather system, and once we've seen through satellite meteorology that we have that link, we're able to draw that system in increment.
All right, so I'm trying to get this to go to the radars. So when this fire took place in Paradise, California, there was 2 ignition points that happened at the very same time. We caught what looked like 3 stealth bombers going over the same area at the same time. There was a giant flash. There was a giant blast wave. And we also caught the radar. The microwave energy off the radar pulsed right with the fire, and it actually connected to the fire. And if I can get this to fast forward, I can show you. So I'm trying to fast forward this, but the controls are not wanting to cooperate here. So we show you back, just go back and look at any of the Paradise fires that we produced, and you'll see all the evidence you need to see that this was a man-made fire. So here's the radar, and if you look right up here in the north, the radar is in the center. Hopefully you can see my mouse, maybe you can't. But up in the north, that's where the fire ignites. And just watch the radar and the fires connect together, and they both pulse at the very same time. So I'm just trying to scroll through here. So there's the fires burning right there in the north. Now watch them just take off here. Now there's the fires, just instant blast off like a rocket, and it's just burning completely out of control so fast that incinerated people right in their cars. They couldn't even escape. This was a laser-based weapon. I mean, I can't even show more evidence that I showed. So it's all there on the footage of what happens when technology gets away from you. So let me see if I can get back on the scene that we are on now, the right scene. So let me go ahead and get this back on the main. There we go. Here we are. So anyway, PG&E made a deal for space, and they also cloud seed and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and close some of these out as we go here. So here is the MIT Technology Review. This was the startup to beam power from space. This actually started back in April 2009. So a startup is trying to generate power in space for the use on Earth. Some old ideas that have never been tried. So this has been going, you know, this has all been in the works. We're seeing it play out right now. You know, when they bring in the 5G, the Skynet, every time the wind blows, we're going to completely cut everybody's power off, so you have no way to communicate, because everything will be running through the cloud. They're going to turn the cloud off. Then also back in September 5th this year, Pentagon shifts focus on directed energy technology. Now, the military is way ahead of what they show us. You know, if you have a power company already in the works back in 2009 to create satellite laser-based weapons, microwave weapons, just imagine what the military has. And then here's your solar-powered space weapon, the Google patent, and all the patents that go along with it. And when was this? 2014, issued January 24th, 2014. Dispersed space-based laser weapon and power generator, which claims priority to U.S. patent application. PG&E. You can bet. Yep, look. Signing up. Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PG&E of San Francisco, recently signed a supply agreement with the Solarian Corporation of Manhattan Beach, California for 200 megawatts of electricity. So here you go. They can't lie about this. But now they have so much power that they can shut your power off when the wind blows. But yet the wind's not really blowing that much yet. So here was their Pacific Gas Electric Company amended 2019 wildfire safety plan that was brought out here on February 6, 2019. This is how long they've been planning for this event. And hopefully we can shed enough light that they won't do what they probably plan on doing. And we have to expose what they're doing. That's why we're showing you all this information about who PG&E is. You got to know who you got to know who your enemy is when you're in a war. You know, information wars from between us and the mainstream. The truth, you know, the mainstream couldn't tell the truth if it slapped them in the face. That's why they call it programming, because they just want to program you. So anyway, energy from outer space. PG&E. So it's all going on. Here's all your stuff. You've got a lot of pissed off people in California. What about the people from the Paradise Fires? They still have not been able to rebuild. Patriots should be backing these people and getting their property back, getting their land back, because these are land grabs. Now check this out. After the Paradise Fire, what happened? PG&E raised the prices of the power and made the people that they burn out pay for it. So PG&E customers already paying some of the highest U.S. electricity bills will likely be forced to foot billions in fire-related costs. Just like the New World Order. You know, like pushing the Franken foods and pushing the gender agendas and the invasion agendas. They force all this stuff on you, and then they find a way to make you pay for the mistakes. But it's not really mistakes, it's their plan. And we're running out of time to stand up against this stuff. You know, follow the money? Who's going to make money if they burn a bunch of stuff out? Well, the big companies are going to be able to get the land that they want. All the, hardware stores, they're making tons of money on people freaking out having to buy stuff. They only gave them 2 days warning. And it's just nuts, man. This has been so planned. Why this is going on, you got scientists growing meat in space. So lab-grown meat has been created in a space in an experiment that's truly out of this world. Israeli and Russian scientists cultured the tiny piece of beef from stem cells while aboard the International Space Station. Cow cells were harvested back on our planet and blasted to the station where they grown into muscle tissue using a 3D printer. This is where it's going, ladies and gentlemen. Fake meat, fake everything, fake reality, fake left, fake right. It's just nuts. But yet PG&E, they kill all these people and they get to keep filing bankruptcy in Chapter 11. And then, they're still in control. They're in control of the people's power. Look at their logos, man. These are satanic. Definitely satanic Freemasonry. Rockefeller. All that stuff. All right, let me get out of there. So the fires have been started. Here we are on the worldview map. The fires have been started. So here we go. Oh, I don't have the place marks on here. Let's get the nice crowd out there. Thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah, the Rothschild, yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks everybody out there for joining us, finding out what's really going on. What's really going on is we're getting screwed. Let me take this back. Now, if you didn't know how they set this up, let me get out of this stuff. I got some of these already set up. So let's jump over here to the RAM slider here. Let me play this. And hopefully it will reload. So here's setting up. This is the last 48 hours. And you can see down here in the blue, hopefully it's coming in clear enough. You can see these long, skinny white lines all emanating out here off the coast. All in this blue, these lines. These are not chemtrails from planes. This is called bunker fuel. Now, all these bunker fuel ships were way up over by the Kamchatka Peninsula. They were up by the Aleutian Island chain, and then just in a matter of a day or two, they all shifted down here and started dumping tons of particulates in the air just off the coast where you really couldn't see them from the coast. So they're being real sneaky about what they're doing. So that's the same thing they did before the Paradise Fires. They loaded the sky up with the heavy metals from the land, you know, from the ocean, and then from the sky. Now, not only did we have this, let's see if we can get over here, and then we'll show you what they were spraying from the sky. Now, I don't know if I can get 48 hours on here, maybe the last 24. But we had a mass spraying operation from the sky on top of the aerosols that were being deployed. See, they're still spraying out here too. Yeah, it's not going to take us back. You'd have to go back and watch last night's video to get the how bad the spraying operation was. But we could also show you. We could just go back a day on this worldview map. So let's go back to yesterday. So you can't even see the bunker fuel operations out here, but they're there when you go to the right layer. You almost have like a blast radius. But look, right here, let's get this to load up. Look at the chemtrails. Big old fat super liners. Hey, thanks out there, Ed. So these were, you know, mega liners. Look, you can see the frequencies in the clouds. So they were also hitting this with the microwave frequencies from the radars. The microwaves, look, right in the fire zone. Let's back this out. Fires are here. The aerosols are here. The bunker fuel is out here. Now they also are doing it up in the north. This is probably where they're going to start the mega fires. So let's go up to today. Is there any spraying today? No, but the fires have been ignited. So right now it looks like we have several fires going up the mountain range. Nothing up in the north yet that I'm seeing. But just wait. They heavily sprayed this area. And, you know, we're all waiting on the winds. Let me go ahead and check and see if there's any bunker fuel being deployed out here. I'm going to go with the 3.7 microns. And let this load up. Hey, thanks out there, Kirkwood. Much love, brother. Yeah, I mean, bunker fuel's so nasty, man. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's so thick, they have to heat it up to get it even to semi-flow. So really, I'm not really seeing it on the worldview map today. But like if I go back a day or two, when the big shipping operations were up here off the Kamchatka Peninsula, I know it was really bad up here a couple days ago. Let's try to see if we go back. I mean, it stood out. Like you can see some of them right here. Like here's one right here. See, it's a little point, and then it billows out real long, real nasty. But I mean, there was a major, let me go back another day. I mean, it was a mega bunker fuel operation. Was somehow all these ships got from up here. These are not fishing vessels. These are not cargo ships. These are weather modification ships. Hey, thanks out there, Sandy. Much love out there. So look at this. This is the storm that is going over the Midwest right now. They loaded it up. You know, they call this accidental geoengineering, but it's not by accident whatsoever. It's done with a purpose. They're spraying this low pressure system. They're loading it up. You know, they're not only creating a blanket over the Arctic to melt the Arctic, but it's also seeding the storms as they come across. Now, I haven't really looked at this map too much today. I didn't see if there was other aerosols being deployed, but we'll just take a quick look while we're here. And thanks out there, Susan. So you guys are on the coast, 25 miles. No winds yet. Out of water in 1 hour from the grocery store. Hey, thanks for that information. That's what we need. I mean, if you guys come across anything, send it to agwnnews@gmail.com, and I'll try to get the information out. You know, we'll get all the information we can tomorrow through the day, and then we'll bring out what we find tomorrow night. So we have a new spraying operation out here to set up the nor'easter. This is a storm I've been talking about, and you have major aerosols being deployed. the storm is going to kick back and hit the upper northeast, all this. Or they're already getting ready to start pulling it out. Also another big operation way up here by Greenland. Or actually it's just right out in the middle of the Atlantic there. And there's our other little storm. In fact, we might need to go look and just see what's going on real quick with the weather. We'll jump into the let's go ahead and check our typhoon Hagibis. Let me see if I can get this over here. Nice crowd out there tonight. Thanks for everybody who shares this stuff out. Thanks to everybody that sends us the information. Yeah, it's really windy here in Missouri today. So look at this thing. It's still a Cat 5. So now they're showing it. Let me get this out farther. Now this thing has over 60-foot waves. I mean, this is a wave machine. We watched them conjure the storm up by Guam. Hey, thanks out there, Greenleaf. So they conjured the storm up way over here. Like, I started talking about this storm like a week and a half ago. And they conjured it up. Turned into a Cat 5 right when it went between the islands of Guam. Went to a Cat 4. Then it's back to a Cat 5. It's going to go back to a Cat 4. Let's look at the microwave imagery of this thing. It was a square. It wasn't like an eye wall. Look, it was a square. We watched them fabricate this storm. We'll see what it looks like now. It's probably a machine now. Yeah, most Americans don't care, but here soon, they're you know, it's going to be all over. Like, we have to stand up for this stuff now. So we can see now it definitely has an eye wall. What was that purple in there? I've never even seen purple flash through before. Let me just watch this. So completely different than when the storm started. So they're definitely pulsing this storm out. It's like they're guiding the target. Let me go back here. Let's go back to the day before. So there was Guam Islands right there. Look at it. It's square. It had a square eye wall. Now they're fine-tuning it. Think of it like this. If you got a satellite, look at the square in the rain bands. If you have a satellite-based weapon up in the sky, think of it like a magnifying glass. You ever try to catch a leaf on fire with a magnifying glass, and you got to get it at the right height so the beam tightens up? Well, that's what we're seeing here. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Hey, thanks out there, guys. Everybody out there to Super Chat. You guys are rocking out tonight. Susan, much love out there. And Sandy, if I missed you guys, sorry here. So yeah, man, crazy stuff going on. None of our weather is natural. I mean, I don't even know how long it's been since we had natural weather. So pray for the people here in Japan, because they're getting it. You know, they're getting it in the UK, Europe, Australia. Same, situations are going on there that's going on in the United States. You got all the protests that are going on everywhere. And, they're just wanting to create civil unrest everywhere to bring in the New World Order. They don't want people coming together. That's why they're dividing us every way they can. So you have to see past the division that they're trying to conjure up. And look how big that thing is. That thing is a monstrosity up there. Let's see if they're showing the size of it yet. I think it was so big that they wouldn't tell you the size of it. So they're still not telling you the size of it. See, look, we can go to any other storm. Radius of circulation, 200 nautical miles. Radius of maximum wind, 100 nautical miles. Here's another one, 100 nautical miles, 50 nautical mile radius of wind. Why are they not showing us how big this thing is? Because it's a monster, man. This is the only typhoon in the water, and they're not going to tell us how big this damn thing is. Right now, wind gusts up to 170 knots, 61-foot wave heights. Look at it, a direct hit right into Japan. Then it's going to start heading north, right where the cloud seeding operations are. So that's how many miles it is from. Yeah, man, they're not telling us how big this damn thing is. That is really, really strange. You know, I may have to download the KML file and put it on Google Earth to see if I can measure this thing. So it must be just, you know, a monster. So this one's a 200-mile nautical radius, and it's not even showing up. I mean, this thing is huge, just huge. But I was wanting to zoom in here on America. I want to see if we see any kind of blast wave like we seen back with the Paradise Fire. I don't know, but Japan is in deep shit right now. That's all I can say. Oh, there is a little puff right there. That's nothing like the blast wave that we seen with the Paradise Fire, but that's, you know, kind of like a steam engine roaring up. Look, all the atmospheric rivers being completely blocked. There's a little bit trying to pull in Southern California, but they won't let it. They're not going to let that moisture come in. Look at all the moisture with this hybrid storm over here off the upper northeast. You know, this wasn't a tropical storm. It wasn't a subtropical storm. It just come out of nowhere. It's a hybrid storm. It's man-made. We're going to be seeing this more and more. And what did I want to look at here? There was something I was going to look at, and I just completely lost what I was wanting to look at. Oh, I wanted to look at the Sahara dust. We'll see what that's looking like. Yeah, a lot of people can't prep, man. I mean, most of us, like 90% of Americans, are not ready for a huge grid down scenario. I mean, most of us, we have to live from check to check. Like, we can't afford to buy, you know, a bunch of food, and then you got to have, you know, storage, and like everybody lives check to check, man. It's just not like that. They made it like that on purpose. That way you have to depend on the government. So the Sahara dust just completely blew away what they were trying to fabricate down here around Cuba. They were trying to create a cyclone to come up and hit Florida. Well, that dust just inundated it. So it took away their plans. So good, but bad, the dust is coming in here. Let's go ahead and look and see if the models show any kind of hurricane coming later in the month for Florida. We're just trying to zoom through that. This is going to definitely affect the upper northeast. It's like an, you know, like a hybrid hurricane. And here's the wind that's supposed to be coming in. It's showing it coming, you know, right there, right at the border of Northern California, and right down through the mountains, blowing, you know, southeast. So all these real tight black lines, that's the wind event. You got wind event here. The winds are starting to tighten up over the Midwest. You have, you know, almost blizzard type conditions up here. So definitely it's going to be like a blizzard going through North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado here in about 24 hours. Ice storms for Nebraska, Minnesota. Look at that. The winds are really going to pick up just right down. It's a concentrated area. It's like a focus beam. This is how they change the jet streams. You know why this massive storm is going straight east? This storm is still there. It's not moving. It's just spinning in the same spot. It's actually going back south. So it takes a while for the storm to push that storm off. So you guys are going to get pretty inundated up in the northeast. So here comes our first hurricane, which is not going to amount to anything. We just want to see. Ooh, we got some big time flooding rain. So after the fires, they're going to put the fires out. If there's any fires up here in Oregon, Washington, they're going to put them out here on October 17th with flooding rains that cause, mudslides, just like they did with the Paradise fires. After they burned everything up, they brought the rain in, they steered the atmospheric river, and they washed away all the evidence. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. Several waves of severe rain coming up. Flooding events. All that bunker fuel, that they just dumped out in the Pacific is going to hit the atmospheric river coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, and wham, we got more floods. They're going to keep us flooded, keep us soggy, keep us soft, liquefying the ground. So, we got another, looks like a really strong. So the dust just wiped away that other hurricane, but it looks like we got a new hurricane later in the month on the 25th, way down there in the Bajas. So why we're there. So man, that's just insane. Let me move that up a day. What kind of waves are we looking at? 49.9. So 50 foot, 50.2. Let's take it up another day. And then it's going to start dissipating. So right where they did a huge bunker fuel operation. Wow, they're going to form another one. There's going to be another typhoon. As far as I can go. I can't go back any farther. So they're going to, these are the atoll islands. This is where the United States just launched an ICBM missile. This is where they did all the nuclear tests, blowing up these islands with nuclear tests. There's nuclear radiation all flowing out here. Then they activated the military. Makes you wonder. So let's see if we can pick up the fires on here. Let me try to zoom in on this. Let's change the layer. Let's go the fire temperature map, and see if we can pick up these fires. And let me go ahead and load while that's loading. Let's go ahead and get out of that. And hope, we're going to see if the winds pick up. But we need to start loading up the next rad, see if they're doing any kind of funny business over here. Let's go ahead and get over here on the West Coast. Nice. Nice crowd out there. Only 2 away from 1,000. But, we've had a couple thousand in here. It's rare to get a lot of people in here because, there's so many other shows going on. It's hard to know what to watch. Like, I can't even watch other people's videos. It's just no time. So I'm glad you guys are here to join us. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing to go. We only need a couple more people. Let's hit 1,000. Come on, share that button. I don't know how many people are over on DLive or the Above Ground Facebook page or Twitch. I mean, we probably have well over 1,000 now. So look at the radars. They're definitely beaming out. So we got a few beams going on. We're not picking up no, ignition sources. We see these solar farms and the wind farms are pulsing. That's not good. They're all kind of ramping up. So we're going to be really watching these guys. We're going to watch this especially if the fires really start igniting. Look, there's a fire zone right there. There's a fire. I don't know if you guys could see the red. Oh, this whole thing is glowing red. We got a red spot there. See if I can play it. I don't know if this will play or not. We'll just see. You guys probably can't see this. Let's see if I can hide that. So this whole thing is glowing red. Look, we had a couple flashes. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, look at that glow there. So we have tons of fires, small fires going off. We got a pretty good size one there. Now we got one up here. They're everywhere. So they're slowly igniting the place. I don't know if you can see this. Let me copy this and I'll put it in the description because it's too long to put in chat. So I'll put this link right above the show links if it'll let me. Wow, for some reason. Okay, there we go. So it's just going to be a really long link. And this will be it. And then you can see on your screen the red spots. And you can zoom in and see all the fires that are igniting. That was just like a flash fire right there, like an explosion down here in the southern part. So the fires are definitely being ignited right now. We get this expanded out. All right, nice job, guys, out there. Yeah, we're definitely the resistance. So, you know, here, I'll play a little clip. Let me play a little clip of an activist. And this is, you know, if you go to your town hall meetings, you can do stuff like this, but you need a lot of people, man. If you go in there with just a small skeleton crew, you're not going to get nowhere. So let me just play a little quick clip here.
Hello, my name's Al DeChico. I live in Golden Valley, and I understand that this is a federal issue. I understand that from speaking to the governor's office that they cannot or will not even make a statement about this. My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation. We've been doing it for years. So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you. Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 25th. Pandora Fog consists of shipboard radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking.
We've had a lot of cases where we were seeding storms that had no business being seeded. We were just kind of throwing darts, and we were seeing responses in some of those. So we are learning that maybe there's more opportunity with some of these. Maybe we don't even need to have a rain cloud. We could go work cumulocongested clouds that aren't really precipitating yet. And if it has inflow, maybe we could get something to work.
All right, guys. So there you go. We are the resistance. We have to stand up and rise up. Otherwise, they're just going to keep poisoning us like, you know, rats in a lab, because this is their lab. And they're pulling all this stuff, and we're letting them get away with it. That last clip there was from the 2019 Texas Driver's License Bureau Committee meeting on the weather modification. They talked about how they seeded clouds that they shouldn't have been seeding. They seeded clouds that were already thunderstorm warned they used electric rainmaking. So, you know, that this is just a small part of what we cover each night. We talk about all the electromagnetic that they use to steer the atmospheric rivers. There's several companies that do that. And it's just never ending, man. Sometimes it's overwhelming what they're doing. So make sure you guys share this stuff out. We're going to play a song called Rise. I'll come join you guys in chat for a minute while the song is playing. I'm going to go over to D Live. I'll give away the treasure chest over there. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. They're going to unsubscribe you. They do it every time. So anyway, guys, much love out there. Be safe. Pray for everybody in Japan. Pray for everybody on the West Coast. Pray for the people up on the Northeast. You guys are going to get hammered too. And we'll dig into this even deeper tomorrow. We just, you know, we got to have more time. Come the weekend, you know, we'll know everything that's going on and what they're doing. Anyway, guys, much love. Crank it up. Be safe out there. No fear.